Hello there, folks. It's me, Mike Bach, your university dude, and it's time for another episode of Monday Morning Musings. And I want to talk about something I did this weekend. I watched Saturday Night Live. You're probably wondering why I want to talk about this, but stay with me for a second. It'll become clear. SNL is one of those shows that I'm not consistent about watching. Sometimes it's awful, sometimes it's fantastic. The show's a bit hit or miss, but I watch it every once in a while. And this weekend they did something that I was really pleased about. So the previous week, Pete Davidson, who's one of their regulars, came on and did a bit about making fun of people because of the way they looked, politicians specifically. They were mostly Republicans. He made fun of Cuomo, the governor of New York. But, I don't like jokes that involve making fun of other people. If you have to do that, you're it's a bit low. But he made fun of one guy who is running for congressman in Texas. He's a Republican who has an eye patch. His name is Dan Crenshaw, and Dan Crenshaw is a former Marine who lost his eye during a tour of duty because of an ID. And I'm not going to say what he called him. It was just stupid. It was childish humor. But this week they invited Crenshaw, now Congressman-elect Crenshaw, onto the show to take a couple pot shots at Pete Davidson. And quite honestly, they were very funny. I'll post a link so you can see the clip. But beyond being funny, they said something at the end that really stuck with me, and I'll just read it out here. Americans can forgive one another. We can remember what brings us together as a country and still see the good in each other. And that really stuck with me because this past weekend was Remembrance Day. November 11th is Remembrance Day. For those of you who don't know what it is the day that we remember the end of World War I. So 100 years ago yesterday, Sunday, the 11th of November, the troops laid down their arms and the war ended at exactly 5 p.m. local time. And I admittedly have not been a person who has been overly pro-Remembrance Day. I'm a pacifist. I do not believe that war solves anything. Violence is a solution. I'm very anti-violence. And so I've been one of those guys who didn't wear the poppy and didn't pay attention to these moments about remembering our veterans, because I thought, why did you have to go in the first place? And for some reason, this clip on SNL kind of turned a corner for me, because I realized that this isn't about celebrating war. It's about celebrating the people who have given their lives in order to protect our freedom. And I can get behind that. The other day I was speaking at an event and someone came up and said, "Oh no, you don't have a poppy." And I wore it begrudgingly, but now I realize that I'm wearing it out of respect. So I wanted to say to all the veterans of all the wars, all the people who have served either in the Canadian forces, in the U.S., in any defense or forces around the world, thank you for your service. I don't agree with war. I don't agree with violence. And tomorrow I will continue that trend. But today, for a moment, we will remember our fallen heroes. So thank you. So my advice to all of you is, just as the clip says, spend some time with a veteran. Get to know what their experience was like. Talk to them. Whether they're a veteran in your family. My uncle is a vet, and I've never had a conversation with him. So I'm going to do that. And I would encourage you to as well. That's it for me. Hope you have a fabulous week. And remember to subscribe to my channel by clicking on the link somewhere near my face. And I will see you next week for another episode of Monday Morning Musings.